there is a name for swamp deer in Hindi. Hindi, yeah, you could say Hindi. Locally, how do we call the swamp deer? There's another name to it. Does anyone know the name? And it's also linked to antlers, means as in any idea what is it called? Yeah, excellent, Shawnali. Barasingha. It's called as Barasingha. Sing means, no, what is sing? The horn. So Barasingha. So it is meaning that it has 12 horn within horn. I mean, if you have seen it, it's almost like a reindeer. The look of it almost looks like a reindeer. Yeah, Singha is horns, correct. So it almost looks like a reindeer. So you will see that there is a horn, but within that it branches off. It looks as a tree. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. So it is found in the Gangetic Plain, and it's also found in the Sharda Basin. So whenever you see something like this, what is the first thing that you need to do? You need to Google and find where Sharda River is. You will figure out that it is in the Nepal UP region. Okay, it's in the Nepal UP region, but please do Google and find out Sharda. Once you look at Sharda, you will maybe know some of the other areas. This is how you strengthen your knowledge of some of the locational aspects, because if you just look at 50 locational aspects at one go, you will not be able to memorize. As you keep reading the newspapers, keep adding these points on the map, and the mind takes some time to absorb them. So please do it little by little on a daily basis, rather than taking tons of it and trying to finish it in 4 or 5 days. That will not work. Okay. Now, with their numbers estimated, okay. So Dudhwa National Park. So what am I interested in? Okay, they are saying 3,000. I really don't have to worry. Means as long as, okay, so there is some number. It's not very bad. Dudhwa National Park. So Dudhwa, we also discussed Dudhwa in a different context. Any idea if someone can remember? Dudhwa is national park, but it is also a, can someone tell me it is also a, in addition to a national park, it's also a, excellent, Anand, tiger reserve. It's also a tiger reserve. Guys, do you remember those, what do we call, tiger conservation units that we discussed long back? There was India map, green color India map. Then I had drawn, hey, totally there are, this many number of conservation units. By any chance, do you remember? For example, I would have said that there are 7 conservation units. Does anyone recollect it? And then we said one is the Terai belt, then there is a northeast belt, then there is a Eastern Ghats belt, then there is a Southern Western Ghats belt, then there is a Central belt and all that. Yeah. So your Dudhwa is part of your Terai belt. Terai, can you imagine Terai? Yeah, which is your India and Nepal boundary approximately. That roughly corresponds to Terai. Okay, so it's also found in Kanha National Park. So that's a good lead, no? Kanha is also has also tiger. Dudhwa also has tiger. Barasingha is there both. So you can easily attach a predator-prey relationship between both of them. Okay. Protection status, I have made it bold so that this is something that you should try and remember. One or the other way they will try to judge your understanding or knowledge in this. IUCN is vulnerable. So vulnerable is not bad, no? Because after vulnerable, you have endangered, critically endangered, extinct in the wild, and extinct. So as far as its conservation status is there, it's not bad, which is reflected in the numbers also, 3,000. But IUCN is worldwide, no? So you will find these swamp deers in many places. So it is still vulnerable, considered as vulnerable, but it is not endangered or critically endangered. However, sites, yeah, that lists it in Appendix 1, which means it is a wild animal of concern, especially from a trade perspective. Similarly, in our Wildlife Protection Act also, it is put under Schedule 1. Now, one of the reasons why what is impacting their population is for both these antlers as well as the meat. Antlers as well as the meat, and it is sold in the local market. So in many places, this deer meat is a delicacy. Yeah, so people eat the deer meat. And off late, so as the name itself suggests, swamp deer. Yeah, so deer which you find in area which is a little swampy, marshy, where it has wetland, some amount of wetlands. So obviously, whenever the wetland gets reduced, it is threatening the habitat of these swamp deers, and therefore their numbers are reducing. Okay. Swamp deers are highly gregarious and nocturnal. Nocturnal, any idea what is nocturnal? And what is gregarious? Any idea? I mean, it's not environment, it's more of English. Yeah, nocturnal is active inside. Excellent. Gregarious. Okay, gregarious is social. Okay. Any other point? Somewhat right. They form a societal. They are together. Yeah, you could say that. Prachi, I think, yeah, social, you could say. Any other explanation? Yeah, live in clusters, exactly. So they move together, live in clusters. They are social, they are herds in packs. All of them are right, guys. Huh? So they are highly gregarious and nocturnal. So sometimes what happens, no, I have not seen this in UPSC. At least some of these institutes ask questions like this. They give a characteristic of sometimes not animals, but of national park. They say this river passes through it. This is to the south, north, etc. Identify the national park. It helps. Similarly, also look at some key features of these animals also. Yeah. So, for example, if they say these species are highly gregarious and nocturnal, they are found in the Sharda basin, and they have eyesight and hearing that are moderate. Some clue they will give, and then you can, between the options, you should be able to figure out which one seems to be the most appropriate answer for the given set of clues. Okay, so they are doing what? They are doing genetic profiling. So more details you can look at it from this article in the Hindu newspaper. Genetic profiling. So you do genetic profiling primarily to assess how diverse the genetic diversity is. That gives you an indication that if at all there is any threat due to outbreak of diseases, how good a chance do these swamp deers have in terms of survival. Okay, so that's why we do genetic profiling.